Okay, so we're running a 5-cell setup today with a Revo 47-2250 kV motor. Got our carbon body, and yeah, we're gonna do some runs on the baseball diamond. Alright, quick pit stop break. Alright, so we're down to just 100 degrees. I thought it was quite a bit warmer than that. I like to check temps out here because it's easy to cook a motor. Alright, so looks like the rear differential went out. It's getting locked up, so I might just put a locker rear def on there. Call it a day. I'll have to replace the differential every time. But yeah, it's a lot of power. It's a lot of impact right on the rear diff. Cups are also getting pretty worn out. But yeah, pretty fun. I'm gonna put the spool in, made by HR. Seems like the differentials in the Revo overheat and then they soon after just destroy themselves. The front one seems to stay fine, but I think because it's just it's unloaded most of the time, it's spinning really fast, so it's not as much of an issue. Okay, so we have the differential open, shims and everything still seem fine. The teeth on the pinion and the spur seem to be in perfect condition, which is surprising. Normally if it starts skipping around like that, it'll eat itself. But every time it's the same issue. The screws back out and make this a big wobbly piece, and that I think skips. I think the internal spider gear starts skipping. And you can tell that it's all loosey-goosey because that's coming apart from the diff casing, and the ends, the cups are also kind of loose. So I'm going to take this apart, and then we're going to put the spool. I'm just going to replace the entire diff housing and everything, and we're going to swap the cups, and it should be pretty much bulletproof, I guess. I'm not really sure because it's not going to be a differential anymore, so it may just end up grenading immediately. But I'm going to put this back in, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're back. We got the spool done. I swapped the cups like I said in one of the videos, or one of the portions. So now, when this is turning, it's using the flat spot, so it exponentially increases the reliability or the durability, because it looks like under braking it's barely doing any damage to the cups. This is like a little trick you have for the Revo 2.0, is just swap the cups from left to right. So I have it thread locked. I have the whole differential together. Now this probably is going to work pretty well, but I think during like hardest throttle inputs or like hardest accelerations, it may just shatter everything. Not sure what part's going to shatter, but normally it's the pinion to the differential, so this might get destroyed. But it is shimmed, so it has good contact surface with the spur of the differential, so it may just hold. Put the diff back together. It's going to be pretty tough. It's going to be a lot of stress on the drivetrain, but I mean, it's going to be running on loose dirt most of the time. It wouldn't be too much of an issue. And I hope that this lock differential in the rear hopefully keeps the car going more straight than it is at the moment, because it seems to be kind of just turning at all times, very unstable going straight. So the data logs for like a bashing session doesn't really look like much. What I was actually surprised at was it did consume 4.05 amp hours, which is pretty much 80% of the battery, since they're 5 amp hour batteries. Looks like the max throttle was 87.8%, which I don't know. I don't usually go on the throttle too hard, especially with the Revo. It's I don't know. It does wheelies quite often. But the interesting thing that I noticed was with the gearing that it has, which is super short gearing. I think this is an 18 tooth or something, with a I believe 46 tooth on the spur. But as you can see, the motor spins quite a bit by the time the tires actually do any turning. So it should pull pretty low amps, but it looks like it pulled 153.2 amps. And even when I was trying to do off-road speedrun challenge with this truck, I don't think I've ever hit above like 100 amps. So I thought it was interesting that it did hit 153.